Hey guys, welcome to my channel among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha, and in today's video I am finally bringing you guys a flip through and a look inside of Lifepac math. I talked about Lifepac a few months ago because my oldest daughter switched from The Good and the Beautiful, and she tried Christian Light Education Math and Lifepac Math, and after trying both of them out, she settled on using Lifepac. And while we were looking for a new math program for her and for my other daughter, we saw lots and lots of really good reviews for Christian Light Education Math and lots of other math programs out there, but there is almost nothing for Lifepac. And the few videos that I did find for Lifepac, they were for different subjects like language arts or science, and then really, I think, much older videos for the math. So since she has switched to the Lifepac math, and this is working really well for her, I told you guys that I would film a look inside, and so I've been meaning to get that done for you guys. And I did film like the actual flip through a while ago. I just hadn't been able to sit down and chat with you guys about it, so I have the time to do that right now, and that is what we're going to go ahead and do. So one of the things that is different for this program, and I think there's a couple others that are like this. So Christian Light is like this, it's Lifepac, and then School of Tomorrow, Ace Paces, which really funny. I did Ace Paces back when I was in elementary school, when I was in private school. So when I looked through that, it was kind of like nostalgia for me. So this comes in little booklets similar to Christian Light. So if you have seen any of the reviews, or you have been interested in CLE in the past, or it's a curriculum that you use, this is a similar format. So you get 10 booklets. I only have 9 because the Unit 1 booklet, the first booklet, is in her curriculum already, because that's obviously the first one she's starting. So in the flip through, you'll see what is in the Unit 1, but I will go ahead and show you guys what is in each one of these that I have here with me. One of the things that I really like about Lifepac is that it is a mastery-based math program, which is something that my daughter was really needing. She was kind of getting lost with The Good and the Beautiful, which is a spiral approach, but in addition to it being spiral, it's just very heavy. And because of their, when I say heavy, I mean lots of problems in one lesson. And like lots and lots. It doesn't always look like there's that many, but whenever you actually count out the amount of problems that your kid's doing, it's a lot, because they're like, even though they're boxed off, there's just a lot of little problems on there. So there's that. And it was also just too busy, way too busy for her, too much going on. And with the teaching part of it, when she did the level 4, it worked fine for her, but in level 5, there was a lot of things that I was having to go back and reteach. So just while it will work for many kids, it is a really good program. I do believe we really enjoyed level 4, but for her and for what she needs a mastery-based program and something that just kind of breaks it down better for her. So that is what Lifepac does. It's very simple. It's mastery based, and it's given in smaller chunks. So what makes the Lifepac different from CLE? CLE is also a more spiral based approach, and so, which is kind of why after she tried them both, while she did like the CLE, she preferred the Lifepac, because every booklet is its own topic, and you really master each booklet first, and so that is what she liked. So we'll start with this Unit 2. So this is 6th grade. So this is Math 6 for 6th grade, Unit 2. And in this booklet here, you're working on data analysis. So everything in this booklet is going to teach about data analysis. This is how they're set up for every grade level. So we have, she worked out of the Math 5, a few of the booklets, and then my youngest daughter worked out of the Math 2. So I've seen various levels of it, and I also looked at lots of samples online. So they're all set up the same way. So in this booklet, you have collecting and describing data, organizing data, displaying and interpreting data, and then there's a review. And so here's like the introduction and the objectives for that, you'll see there. And then when I mean like it really dives deep, so this is like the lesson here on collecting data, and it'll have something about it here. There's vocabulary words so that kids can have a better understanding of what it's, you know, if you're saying like the statistics or the data or the mean, if you're not really describing or defining those terms for a student, they're going to be so lost in math. And that's kind of what we found with The Good and Beautiful. So here, down here is a vocabulary list as well. And I've just come to learn that knowing the vocabulary is just as important as knowing how to do a problem. And then here is more on the lesson. And then it goes into examples. So there's the first example and then a second example. And then here's more examples here. And then it'll say, let's review. And then you will have your work for the day. So there's 1.1 work, and then the rest of the work for that lesson is there. And then you will go into the next topic of data. So this one would be median, mode, and range. And then again, it's the lesson. There's examples. And then there's the work problems for review. So that's what that looks like in there. And one of the things in these, at the center of the book is a test, and there's a test in each booklet, and so you can pull that out. My daughter's really good about just leaving it alone, and so at the end of the booklet she'll pull the test out, or I'll pull the test out and she'll take the test. We don't do all of the tests, but if maybe I saw that in one of the units she was struggling a little bit more and I'm not sure if we really need to move on, or I want to make sure she actually did master the concept, then I'll give her the test. And then there's also a glossary in the back for all of the terms that they'll learn in there. And one of the things that I've heard with Lifepac, that at least from some of the other subjects, is that there aren't really, it's not really set up the lessons aren't actually laid out for you to know what all you're supposed to be doing per day. So what we kind of do is we go by subject. So I'll show you here, like this is Venn diagram, and there's like also little graphic cartoons there. So this is the end of the problems for the last lesson, and then it goes into a lesson about Venn diagrams. So that would be the next day. And then there's all the lesson for that, and then it goes into the examples, another example, and then the work. So my daughter she'll read the lesson, she'll read through the examples, work through the examples, and then do the work, and we call it done for that lesson. So we just kind of do it by topic, and you can kind of see that here at the beginning when it says collecting and describing data. Well, there's going to be collecting valid data, median, mode, and range, describing data, and then a self-test. So the self-tests are like quizzes, and those are behind the unit test. And so then organizing data has frequency tables, histograms, line plots, stem and leaf plots, and then a self-test. So for me, when I am writing down or having her write down in her planner, or if I'm putting in my planner, I'm not writing like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3 like I would for my daughter who's using CLE. I'm just writing the title of the lesson. So the first lesson she would do in this book would be collecting valid data. Once she's done with reading the lesson, reading through the examples, and doing the work, then she's done for the day. And then the next day she would have median, mode, and range. And so that's how we have laid out doing this. That may seem like too much for some people, so you could totally break up a topic over a couple of days and have your student do the reading of the lesson and the examples one day and then the next day do the problems. But I've noticed that because of the way that this teaches and explains things to her, that she's able to do the reading, the examples, and the problems in a decent amount of time that is not taking her in an amount of time that's not taking her too long or really stressing her out. So one of the things that helped make our decision to stick with this is, like, if you see, and you'll see this more even in the flip through, but whenever they are presenting the new concept, it is just very well, number one, it's written directly to the student. So I have the teacher's book for this. I don't think that I brought it with me though. I do have the teacher book for this, and I mostly just use it for her answers, to check her work. But if she needs more explanation of something, there's tips and stuff like that in there as well. But I have found so far that the way that the lesson is presented and then with the examples, that she's really grasping these concepts much better than she was in previous math curriculums. So that is unit 2. And then I have unit 3 here, and this one is decimals. So this one's all about decimals. So you'll see decimal numbers, multiplying and dividing decimals, the metric system, and then review. And I'll show you here in the center is that math test again. And then there are the self-tests in there as well. And so that is unit 3. And again, I'm going to go through these pretty quickly with you right now, but I do have a flip through that I'm going to share with you guys also, so you guys can get a better look at some of the problems and examples and get a really good idea of what is inside this math. So unit 4 is fractions. And then we have factors and fractions, the LCM and fractions, decimals and fractions, and then review. Lifepac test in the middle of that as well is there. And then, like I had mentioned earlier, really helps that there's a glossary at the end of each one of these booklets. So then we go into unit 5, and this one is fraction operations. And so we have adding and subtracting fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions, the customary system review, and then the test in the middle. And one of the things that I really love are the examples. I like how each one of these booklets, you get a minimum of 2 examples, and I've noticed, like, for some of the things that maybe kids may have a harder time understanding, there's even more. So this one has 3 different examples, and it's like has the problem and then the solution, but it tells you exactly what to do. And so then whenever they go into their problems, they have a good idea. It's kind of that whole concept of modeling for a kiddo. And at least for me, when my daughter's doing examples, I still make her work the whole thing out, because then she's, like I said, she's getting that model of doing the problem and having the right answer. And so when she then takes that to go do the problems where it's not, all there, she at least has gone through and knows how she should work the problem. So then we go into unit 6. Like I mentioned, there are 10 units per grade level. And so this one is all about ratio, proportion, and percent. So we have ratios, proportions, percent, and then review. In unit 7, we have probability and geometry. So probability, geometry, angles, geometry, polygons, and then she'll go into review. And I haven't looked, actually I have looked further into some of the higher grades. And so while I really like how the elementary level of this math is laid out, I haven't really, from what I've seen from the samples, it looks different in the upper levels. So I don't know that this is what we're going to stick with in the upper levels, but that's something that I can definitely keep you guys updated on. I know she is definitely going to do their pre-algebra because it's still similar to this. So she'll do the level 7 and the level 8, which is pre-algebra. And then I think come 9th grade, we will switch to something different. Probably the same program that my son is doing, which we're enjoying very much, which is Learn Math Fast. If you guys want an update on Learn Math Fast, let me know and I'd be happy to do that for you. So going into Unit 8, which is Booklet 8, It's geometry again, but this time with measurement. So we have plane figures, solid figures, and then review. And then in booklet 9, we have integers and transformations. So here you have integers, integer operations, and transformations. And then in booklet 10, we have equations and functions. So here's equations, more equations and inequalities, and then functions. And so that is 9 of the 2 units. I don't remember what the first unit was, but like I said, in the flip through, you guys will be able to see what it is because I did film that booklet along with all of the rest of these so that you guys could get a better look inside of these. And let me know what questions you guys have about Lifepac. If there's anything else you want to know about their math. Like I said, it comes in booklet form, so you get 10 booklets. If you order the whole kit, you get the 10 booklets and the teacher's guide, which is all you need to complete their math. It's a mastery-based math program, so they're really honing in on just a few things per booklet before they move on to the next booklet, and it gives you an opportunity to ensure that your kids are mastering those concepts. And I feel like because it has the definitions in here and really helping your kids to understand the math terms, that really helps with mastering math. Because like I mentioned earlier, if you can really understand the math terms and understand what they're asking of you, it's going to be a lot easier for you to remember exactly what equation or function or whatever it is that you're doing, rather than not really understanding what they're asking of you. So we are really enjoying this. And I really hope that this was helpful to you guys, especially for those of you who were interested in seeing inside the Lifepac, or maybe you're someone who's also looking for a mastery-based program. I think you should definitely try out Lifepac. One of the awesome things about it is you can buy these one booklet at a time. So if you want to give it a try and you're not ready to commit yet, you can buy one booklet and just see how your kiddo likes it before you commit to the entire math program. So that's something else that I really like about that. If you have any questions, like I said, go ahead and put them in the comments below. If there are any videos or if there's any content that you would like to see from me, let me know that. I want to make sure that I'm putting out content for you guys that is beneficial as well as enjoyable. So let me know if there's something that you would like to see from me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!